In the ever-evolving world of WWE, creative decisions can often make or break a superstar's career. Some moments elevate wrestlers into legends, while others bury incredible talent under layers of misdirection and poor planning. Unfortunately, the latest episode of WWE Raw has left fans and veterans scratching their heads, as WWE seems to have made yet another creative misstep, this time involving Powerhouse performer Bronson Reed. The moment aired live, and fans immediately took to social media to voice their disappointment. What should have been a moment of dominance and progression for Reed turned into a confusing sequence that left many wondering what WWE's creative team was thinking. But what really set the internet ablaze was when a respected wrestling veteran publicly criticized the company's booking decision, calling it one of the most baffling creative calls in months. Let's dive deep into what happened, why it matters, and how this might impact Bronson Reed's future in WWE. A missed opportunity on Raw. Bronson Reed has been on a slow but promising rise ever since his return to WWE. Known for his raw power, agility, and intimidating presence, Reed had been positioned as a potential breakout star, someone who could easily dominate the mid-card and transition into the main event scene with the right storylines. However, during the latest episode of Monday Night Raw, things took an unexpected turn. Reed was booked in a segment that seemingly undermined his momentum. Instead of showcasing his strengths, Wee's creative direction made him appear weak, indecisive, and out of focus, the complete opposite of how a monster heel should be portrayed. The match itself wasn't the issue, it was the way it was presented. Instead of letting Reed unleash his signature dominance, he was booked to lose in a manner that didn't make sense from a storytelling perspective. Fans who have followed WWE's recent booking patterns were quick to spot the inconsistency. The reaction online was immediate, with many calling it a waste of potential and a character-killing move. The wrestling veteran's harsh words. The controversy intensified when a respected wrestling veteran, known for his honest opinions, didn't hold back. Speaking on his exclusive podcast, he said, "Greater than, you have a guy like Bronson Reed, who looks like a beast, moves like an athlete, and has all the tools to become a top-tier performer. And yet, what does creative do? They book him to lose in a meaningless way. That's not how you build stars, that's how you bury them." The veteran went on to emphasize that this wasn't about one loss, it was about momentum and consistency. He pointed out that WWE often introduces powerhouse wrestlers only to mismanage their push through short-term storytelling decisions. Greater than, Reed has everything a promoter could ask for: size, strength, believability. But if you keep making him lose in ways that don't fit his character, the audience stops caring. And when the audience stops caring, you can't rebuild that easily. These strong words echoed throughout the wrestling community. Fans, analysts, and even other wrestlers subtly agreed, sharing posts highlighting similar examples from WWE's recent history. Fans react. WWE dropped the ball again. Social media became a battlefield of opinions. On X, formerly Twitter, hashtags like #JusticeForReed and #WWE Booking began trending in certain regions. One fan wrote, "Greater than, how can WWE keep repeating the same mistake? Bronson Reed should be destroying people right now, not losing clean to someone half his size." Another fan added, "Greater than, Reed has monster potential. He could be the next Bam Bam Bigelow or Vader type of star. But the way he's being booked, he'll be forgotten before Survivor Series." YouTube commentators, wrestling journalists, and fan podcasts all picked up on the story. Some compared this moment to past creative blunders involving talents like Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, and Aleister Black, wrestlers who had tremendous potential but suffered from inconsistent storytelling. Bronson Reed, the unused powerhouse. For those unfamiliar, Bronson Reed, real name Jermaine Haley, has been a force in professional wrestling for over a decade. His early work in the independent scene showcased his unique mix of size and agility. When he first signed with WWE and joined NXT, he immediately stood out. Reed's breakout moment came when he captured the NXT North American Championship in 2021. Fans saw it as the beginning of something great. However, within months, his momentum was derailed due to sudden creative shifts and unexplained decisions behind the scenes. When he was released from WWE later that year, fans were shocked. His performances were consistently praised, and many believed he was on the cusp of becoming a top star. Reed then went on to dominate in New Japan Pro Wrestling and other promotions, rebuilding his credibility. So when he returned to WWE, excitement was high. Fans hoped this time, the company would finally do right by him. But now, with this latest Raw incident, that hope seems to be fading. Why this matters for WWE's creative direction. WWE's creative direction in recent years has been under intense scrutiny. While Triple H's influence brought renewed storytelling depth and long-term planning, fans have noticed that certain mid-card wrestlers continue to be booked inconsistently. Bronson Reed represents a very specific archetype, the unstoppable monster heel. When used correctly, this type of character can elevate entire storylines. Think Umaga, Vader, Mark Henry, or Brock Lesnar. These were wrestlers who didn't just win matches, they changed the tone of the show. By misusing Reed, WWE risks wasting an opportunity to create another compelling powerhouse who can fill that void. The wrestling veteran who criticized WWE summed it up perfectly. Greater than, if you can't protect a guy like Bronson Reed, who can you protect? The man has presence, charisma, and physical dominance. Booking him like just another mid-carder is criminal. A pattern of poor booking. Unfortunately, this isn't an isolated incident. In the past year alone, several talented wrestlers have suffered from similar creative inconsistencies. Ricochet, Chad Gable, and even LA Knight, before his eventual push, experienced periods where they were directionless. The issue, as many insiders point out, lies in WWE's tendency to book short-term stories instead of building layered narratives that fans can emotionally invest in. Bronson Reed's case highlights this pattern. He has the look of a destroyer, a perfect opponent for main eventers like Gunther, Bobby Lashley, or Drew McIntyre. Yet, instead of establishing him as a credible threat, creative seems unsure what to do with him. Backstage reactions, mixed feelings. Reports from insiders suggest that not everyone backstage was pleased with the way Reed's segment unfolded. While some believe it was just a storyline detour, others reportedly expressed frustration that such an impactful performer was once again being mishandled. One anonymous WWE source allegedly told a wrestling outlet, "Greater than, Bronson Reed has done everything asked of him. He's in shape, he delivers in the ring, and he's great to work with. There's no reason he shouldn't be protected on TV." Another hinted that the decision might have been influenced by other ongoing storylines that required Reed to take a temporary loss. However, fans and veterans alike argue that there are better ways to handle such situations without damaging a superstar's image. The veteran's message to WWE. In his exclusive comments, the veteran ended his remarks with a powerful statement directed straight at WWE's leadership. Greater than, you have fans who want to believe. They want to cheer, to boo, to invest. But when you take a monster like Reed and make him ordinary, you're breaking that belief. You're telling fans that nothing matters, and that's dangerous for business. He added that consistency in storytelling is what separates legendary eras of wrestling from forgettable ones. Every star needs a clear direction. You can't push and pull them week after week and expect fans to care. What's next for Bronson Reed? Despite the criticism, it's not too late for WWE to correct course. Reed's talent, in-ring ability, and connection with fans remain strong. A powerful comeback story, perhaps through a feud where he demolishes multiple opponents, could quickly restore his credibility. Some fans online have even fantasy booked a potential storyline where Reed challenges Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship again, reigniting one of their most intense past rivalries. Others believe he could fit perfectly into a tag team with another dominant figure, such as Solo Sikoa or Braun Breaker, forming a fearsome alliance. Whatever direction WWE chooses, one thing is clear, Bronson Reed deserves better storytelling than what Raw delivered this week. The bigger picture, creative trust and fan faith. In the larger context, this incident underscores the growing tension between WWE's creative decisions and fan expectations. Since the merger with Endeavor and the establishment of TKO Group Holdings, many fans hoped for more coherent storytelling and stronger character protection. However, moments like these remind viewers that even in this new era, creative mistakes can still slip through the cracks. The difference now is that fans have louder voices than ever before. Social media, podcasts, and fan communities amplify their reactions, meaning WWE can no longer afford to ignore feedback. Conclusion: the controversy surrounding Bronson Reed's Raw booking isn't just about one wrestler losing a match, it's about WWE's ongoing struggle to balance entertainment with logic. Reed represents untapped potential, a performer capable of bringing back the aura of dominance that wrestling once celebrated. The wrestling veteran's criticism, while harsh, reflects a sentiment shared by many, that WWE must protect its future stars instead of sacrificing them for short-term storylines. If history has taught us anything, it's that every superstar deserves consistent, respectful booking that matches their character. Bronson Reed has already proven he has what it takes. Now it's up to WWE to prove that it can give him the story he deserves.